land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of shadows. Follow, sweet children, I'll show thee the way through all the pain and the sorrows. Weep not, poor children, for life is this way, murdering beauty and passion. Hush now, dear children, it must be this way, to weary of life and deceptions. Rest now, my children, for soon we'll away into the calm and the Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of shadows.
Okay, this show here is going to be on how to make this piece and how to flatten these out, how to make all these little pieces here. It's a 3-part show, so make sure you watch all 3 parts of it to get it to where it shows you how to make everything. And I hope you enjoy it. Catch you later. Okay, so anyway, I keep turning this camera on and off, so I have to excuse little hops and jumps in between, but nobody wants to watch me do all the boring stuff in between it. Anyway, pour some more of these beads in here so I can see what I'm doing. Because I want to put some more beads in here. And I want a nice silver one right here. Because I got sparkle here, sparkle, dull, a lot of dull, all dull, a couple of sparkles on this side. Try to even it up a little bit. I don't like things too cemetery, but cemetery, however you pronounce that. But anyway, I'll put one there. We'll put a brass one there. Kind of hard to just grab right in there. Not brass, copper. This is where a nice pair of tweezers would come in handy. Yeah, I'll stick this one on this side. In fact, actually, I'm going to put that one on later. I'm going to bend it first, but anyway. Bend him there just to hold him in place. I'm going to do the same with this one too. Bend him this way. Go high, twist down, because I want this to come up this way. I'm going to twist it to where it does this weird S shape. And now I'll put the bead into it. Do a little twist down and around. turn it like I want. There, that'll keep that there. It's funny, I keep turning the camera off when I do something and turn it back on when I come do something, and you keep seeing things like this. And then you just keep talking like nothing happened, but people keep saying, I see this jump, that jump. And it's like, well, okay, I can have some fun with this, you know, do magic tricks. Make things appear and disappear. But now sometimes you'll be doing things and you realize, you know, so knock at the door, or you hear your phone going off, and you're like, okay, I got to change that. Or you do a mistake where like I just did this. I thought, oh, yes, I want to put a spring in there. So we'll pull this out again. Do a little snip right there. That's the fun part. Then you got to fix them. Because if you don't fix them, they jump the fence, start running around breeding with everything else, and wrong kind of fix. But anyway, there. Throw that back in the pile. This is the one I wanted to use. There. And always try to mash that little tip off that sticks out so it doesn't snap close. Always constant reminder of that. Okay, now stretch this out a little bit because I want it to be kind of full length of the wire, except for the very tip, because I got to curl it so it doesn't fall off. Using the tip of the pliers, give it a little turn. I don't want it to be anything large. Then, like I said before, never put your pliers on a spring because it'll bend it all out of weird whack. So you put your thumb there, you bend it around it. You squash that back down a little bit. Good thing about wires, it's electric wire, you can bend it kind of crazy ways. And you can grab this one section here and hold it and really give it a good torque. And flatten it out. Twist. Now, here on the hammer, I'm just going to give it a little bump. And it is going to give it a little bit of a stuff there. So you can actually nail that out by slowly tapping it out as you go. There. You can see it's been hit, but it doesn't hurt anything. And it locks it down. So it moves a little bit, but that's it. Only the little bit. I'm not really wild about this big wide open area here, and I'm going to have stuff here and here, so I'm going to twist this guy a little bit just like that. Fill that zone in there. Take the pliers and actually pull it out a little bit. And then flatten it down again. There. Filled that area in, now I'm going to do this. I have already cut the wire for that, so actually we'll put it this way. Long side out, short side in. Set it down to the end. Like I said, put it on the corner. And then we can do that. Reach over here. Reach over here, get the gear that goes here. Whee! And then there's a bigger gear that'll overlap it. Go here. You always got to make sure when you're throwing these on, there's a back and a front side. Always make sure, because if you put the back side up, it's going to look like, oh crap, after you get it all bent in place. Make sure you always get the right side up. Okay, this one here I'm going to bend some fancy stuff in here first. Just to give it a little twist on the top of itself. And give it a little firm tap. That just locked all this. Now you can still turn these. And this is a little tight, but this still turns. But this actually overlaps it. That stops that from flipping up. That's why that curl goes around there. Now I can take this. Well, I want to put a bead on there. Get a bead on it. Okay. I'm going to twist that around. Use the flat pliers so that won't make this roll, keep rolling on itself. And it's hard to grab on these things. You really got to put a little torque on them, because if you don't, because these have no teeth on them. That's another thing. A lot of people say, oh, I got pliers, I can use my husband or whatever. Jewelry tools have no teeth on them, because if you put teeth on them, it'll mar the wire all up. Now this is already curling that way, so I'm going to make a twist the other way now. There, and I'll put that double over that. Like I say, a little tap again. Always tap and keep them in place. And this still turns, and this still turns. Now this guy can go on, but once again, here's where the other wire goes. But this time I don't want the wire coming right off of that thing here. Let's see, I'm going to twist this. Little loop-de-loop here. And I'm going to knock that down. And then I put the wire in there. And I'm going to leave this wire tighter. If you do this carefully enough, you can actually twist that till it almost starts to overlap. But if you go too far, as you see there, it starts sliding over itself. Then you gotta take your pliers and roll a little bit. Put just that on the metal and flatten it. And then once again, with the wire part, take your finger, you bend it one way, you can even push it down on it, and bend it back the other way a little bit. Yeah, it's hard on the fingers, but it does it. And there's that. That is now done. You're thinking, all right, looks like a scrap pile. But that's part of being steampunk. Now I'm going to take wire and bend it and show you how to make the links for this. We're going to make with the wire hoops. These are called bending tools that you use to make wire. You bend it around here and I'll make your hoops or chains, whatever we'll make out of them. But this is to bend them around, and they come in different sizes. And it goes all the way down to little bitty ones. But these are really awkward. These are what you use like if you're just making chain links or here for your necklaces. These are for bigger ones for like hoops to tie things onto, or earring hoops. Then there's types like this where it actually bends down and around inside. These are actually a lot better type pliers, but they're a little bit more expensive. So, like everyone else, I try to go the cheaper route. These aren't too cheap, but they're not really expensive either. You can get all these on the internet. But anyway, I will show you now how to start bending wires. I'll set these right here. Once again, back to your little tamper here. And you'll need a little hammer. I have a wire that I would keep rolling it up in little spools, so I tie it off. But when I'm done, I got this little hoops. So you can actually just tap it out. Bend some of it by hand. And I'm going to save myself a little trouble. So doing all this crazy crap like this, I'm just going to snip this off for the sake of the show here. Let's hurry up. Anyway, a lot of people say, you just bend it by hand, but actually I can do this about as quick as you can by hand. And it's a lot straighter. There's a little hook there. See, down there, there, you turn it. Always hit the highlight part, and you don't have to hammer hard, just a little tap. Then you take it, I'm going to use, say, this piece right here, just for the sake of the show here. When you twist them, you always grab it onto the tip and twist it around, then come back. Make sure you get it on the rounded part. Never grab it on the flat part. Think, well, why are you going to take off from there? Because you actually have these weird little hexagon shapes to it. Always grab it where it's still rounded. Bend it. And then as you come back around, always put the long piece towards you, and the piece that you just wrapped around, put that little lip out, like this. See where it's sticking on the outside, and the long piece is on this side. You think, well, that isn't that important. Yeah, it is. And then take it and bite it right together there. Make sure it's bit good. Now, for the reason why having this out here and the long piece back here, because you want this to be exactly the same as the other side. You can put your tool there, and as you see here, you put the wire right up against the edge of that tool. That makes it exactly right where you need to cut it. Now you just take your pliers and just bend it flat. But you think, okay, that's the end of that. Okay, so anyway, we got the piece right here. Now, we'll be doing a little hammering on that with a specialty hammer. You can use these hammers, but this is what I prefer. This has, as you can see, a larger, flat, blunt head on it. So when you come across the thing, you try to hold it flat, and it does a nice, neat, level hit. But you can do it with these. And I'm going to show you with this, because most of you people out there have these. You don't have all these fancy little tools. But if you do, good for you, then you know what they're for. But for those that doesn't, I'm going to go ahead and use the standard tool here and show them how to do this. Anyway, you can see how it's not even on the very top right now. I'm trying to get this to the camera. You see where it's a little cockeyed, where this side's a little higher than the other. I'm going to level this down. You actually take it, tap it dead in the middle, where the two come together. It's right in the middle. Just tap it. It'll butt it together. Now you can take your pliers. You're going to need these because you're going to be hammering on it. Anyway, well, I'm going to show you this one. You hit and try to hold it down a little bit, like that. And give it nice, firm hits, and try to follow around as you go. As you hit there, then hit next to it. You know, follow it. Don't keep working on one area, because it'll, as you hit it, it spreads the metal, and it flies in the air sometimes. Ah, geez, I have to come right back to that. Well, I couldn't find it, so I had to do another one. Anyway, you take your two ends, as you see here, and you bend it together like that, best you can. Then lay it down, and then just, like I say, you try to hold it down. You don't go ping, ping. If you do that, it'll jump out like that last one did every time. You try to hit it, hold it flat, and you can see where it actually flattens in the side to it. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit on this. Okay, excuse me, I am an amateur photographer. I'm a professional artist, but I'm a photographer wannabe. Anyway, you can see here where it's been flattening it out. It's not round anymore. It's actually got a flat side to it. And you see where it's a little awkward. Now, you see from hitting it, you can see here where it's actually came apart. Because the metal, as you hit the metal, it spreads apart. So, what you do here is you get your little pliers. This way you don't bang your fingers, especially when you're doing little pieces. You can do that with this big one, but littler pieces, you always want to use this. You hold it with this piece straight out here, because you're going to hit it to where the bottom's here, the hammer's going to hit here. And you just tap it. Basically, just let the weight of the hammer just kind of bump on it, and it'll close it up. Now, if you noticed, it's closed up, but it's, well, I'll get it where you see it, but it's sitting a little awkward. This is a little higher than the other side. Straighten that out by going here, and you hit the hammer here with the bottom here, and that'll level that out. Always make sure these two ends are together, though, because that's what makes them, when you hit it, it pries them together. It makes it go like this. Because first you got to hammer it together, and then you got to bang them together, and then they become all one piece. But as you see here now, it's all one joint piece. Nothing will catch the top of it. It won't catch anything, and it's hard to pull apart because it's been flattened, so it holds its strength. And there's where we store our links. Now I have a bunch of these others that are already pre-done like this, and I'm going to begin to show you how we'll put this together and link it and put a chain to this piece here that we just made. Okay, we is back again. Anyway, I'm going to put, since there's two holes here, I'm going to make one of the top ones here go to a link that'll go on up to your necklace. I'm going to make another one, but just a link to be hanging out, just to be hanging off the edge. But like I showed you on another thing, I can make these different sizes. I already have a bunch of pre-made pieces here, because one day I just get bored. I'll just sit there and just make a whole bunch of them. So when I'm getting busy making a bunch of jewelry, I don't have to keep stopping. Doing a whole bunch of anvil work, I call it, pounding them out. They're already done. Anyway, I'm going to hang some bigger hoops here and then put some of the smaller ones on it and just let it dangle from there. So I guess we'll get the next size down from that, because these are going to go on the necklace piece. And I'll take 2 of these. I'll put with those. Just take these bigger ones off. And then I'll get these smaller ones and hang on here. In fact, I'm going to get 2 smaller ones and put up here with this one too. Because once I put this here, I've got a gear that I'm going to put in the middle. It already has tips on the top of it for putting links. I'll put the one link there, here, and then another link there, and then the chain. Why didn't I hang on so much junk? I don't know. I change my mind sometimes as I go. But anyway, you take yourself 2 of these. Well, actually, I don't have to do this. I'll just do the one. No, I'm going to put the larger one on this side. So I'll go ahead and do this. Twist it. Put the little guy on it. Hook the jewelry onto it. Twist it back. And make sure you hear the 2 ends rub. And I'm going to do the same here. Drop that on there. Put the jewelry on there. Sometimes you gotta go a little bit past it to make it land on it. And sometimes it'll actually separate a little bit. Then you take your hammer and just lightly tap it back together again. Now, these, I think I'm going to go the other way around. I don't think I'm going to make them go small to large. Just to be different. So we hook the center one, the mid-size on there. Drop the tool. Always remember to drop your tools. Knocks the excess dirt off of them. That's my excuse. I don't want to look like I made a mistake. Anyway. And this one's starting to separate a little bit too, so you can squeeze it or bump it, however you want to do it. Pull this one apart. I should have done this one first. I'll show you on the next set. That goes there. Big boy goes out here. Then it ends up like that. So, but what I should have done was, where you got your 3 sizes, I should have opened this one. Because you open the middle one, then you can put your first one on here, and you can put your end one on here without having to open them up, 2 different ones up. You just open the one. And there's that again. Now, we'll just take the little guy, open him up. Let's see if he hangs there like that. I think it'll be a room for it. Let's see. I want it to be able to hang without getting caught. And it does. So now it'll hang, this will hang down below that. Just to be something, an extra bauble. And if the person wants to, they can even hang an extra piece, or you can hang another little gear on there, or whatever you want. Just to add more detail, because one thing about steampunk, you can actually make this stuff literally dripping with gears and wires and springs, and you can even put metal butterflies on it, metal flowers. It's cool thing about steampunk. It's as long as it's industrial stuff on it, gears and stuff, you're okay. If you just put metal flowers on it and little things where it looks like newspaper clippings and old antique pictures and little metal cars, that's cute and all, but that's not steampunk. That's folk art, and folk art is beautiful in itself. And you can mix folk art with steampunk, but I like steampunk all the way just for the diehards, so it's just steampunk. But anyway, the next piece, for where it's going on the necklace now, we're going to hang that. So we'll just stick that piece right there. Yeah, that should hold. And sometimes when you get these necklaces together, you'll find out when you put these on, when you go to get them, you'll put it on the wrong way. You'll have it the back side out. This one here, it doesn't matter. But some of them will have a flat side and other sides have a smooth side. It's be a back side and front side. You know what I'm talking about. When you hang it on the necklace, if you don't watch how you got it, sometimes it'll flip the back side around. So you always make sure that you got the good side, so when it relaxes, the good side shows out. It doesn't have to torque and be twisted the other way. Now, make sure that's good side. It's relaxed hanging like that, so always remember to twist your links apart when they're together. Twist them apart. Don't pull them apart, because when you try to put them together, they go like this. They spring back a little bit. It's hard to get them closed. If you twist them, you can always get the edges and you'll feel them pop back together. It's another little secret, because if you pull them apart and go back, and they don't go back all the way, later on, when you're wearing another piece and the link's against that open area that's didn't close all the way, it's like this. The other link will be like that, and eventually it just takes a little tug when you're out running around. Your necklace comes apart. And then not only does it look like you're making cheap furniture, jewelry, but say you're out there with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or I don't know, it's 21st century, I don't know what you're with, but anyway, and you're out there looking over the water, and the last thing you want is something like this falling into a river, or out in the bay, or whatever, or off the boat. So you always want to make sure your links are held tightly together. Now I got these links here, and I go through a lot of these links here for some reason. If I put a big one, then it looks funny when you put it back to small links. I'm going to go the little guys here. It's like I said, I make them all different sizes, because that's why I buy those tools. Each tool will make 3 different sizes. There are ones that just make 1, but most of them make 3 sizes. I always try to buy the ones with 3 sizes, because that way you can just keep on rolling. You can make several things for the same amount of money that you'd buy one tool with the other. I always try to make my tools do as much for their money. Now I have these other little pieces that I got. You actually roll them together and bash them flat. I'll have to show you another shot to do that, because it's actually a weird thing to do. And that's probably about another hour show. But anyway, I've got other links. You can put different kind of links with it. I'm going to link this together and then put this on this. There we go. Make sure it's all lined up. So that way, that's the link coming off of this. So you can kind of get a look at how that's going to hang. And we'll do the same with this one. We're almost done with this thing now. Yeah, I know, it's almost finished. Oh, the pity. We just became friends and then we're going to separate. But don't worry. If I get enough feedback on this show, I had a few people say they wanted me to make this one. If I get enough feedback on this one, I'll make many more of these shows on how to make steampunk and other different types of jewelry. Because I also make the pretty stuff with the jewels and the silver and the gold and the fancy little gems or turquoise or whatever. But right now I'm in my steampunk phase, so I'm doing steampunk. Because my daughter actually sells these online. In fact, this very piece will be able to be sold online. And I'm trying to get the address for this before I'm done with this video. We'll try to have the address on here. If I can call her up and find out what it is. She hasn't answered the phone lately. She's busy looking for a house. But anyway, I'll put the address on there. This very piece is going to be on her website for sale. So if you wanted it, that way you say, I actually seen this thing get built. And I only make the one. Each one of these, and even if you try to duplicate this, you see how it's all hand-built, hand-bent, everything else. There's no way you can duplicate these. These are all one of a kind. But anyway, I'm going to get the chain now and show you how to size that, and I'll put that on next. Okay, I've already pre-sized this, but what you want to do is make sure that you can put it around your neck and have it hanging where you can actually pull it through. You put your head through everything without having to put a hasp on it, because this one I'm not putting a hasp on, or lobster claw, or whatever you want to call them. They're all different styles and shapes. I'm actually attempting to do this without putting my glasses on. And like I keep telling everybody, I don't need to wear glasses. I just reached the age where curiosity outdoes my vanity. Anyway, you take this on apart, drop that down, and this will not fit exactly the way I want it to go back on. So I'm going to leave that lay there, because when I put these pieces here, that little link ain't going to necessarily go around this. So I'm going to put another little link right here, just to give it something to go by. And that, I'm going to use the smallest of the links I got here. Yeehaw. I should just cut the film and put this on here and then go back, but I get tired of pushing the off button and the on button on this darn recorder. Excuse me if I talk to myself, sometimes I do that. We talk to ourselves here now and then. Anyway, once again, remember to twist, not pull. Put this on here. Okay, I gotta twist it a little further, give it more of an opening. Jeez, I didn't realize that thing was that thick. There's that. Now this one I've already opened the piece up, so I'm gonna close this back up. And remember, you twist it, do not pull it. And that only accounts for the jewelry, nothing else in your life at the time being. Let's see. Close that. And we twist it, not pull it, because we want this to make sure it's a tight fit. There. And that makes that goes there. And by going smaller, it makes it all kind of blend into the smaller chain as it goes. Do the same here. I like this chain here because it has for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, 6. No, it's 5. Anyway, 5 little links and then a stretched link. I like these. Now, sometimes I'll make this stuff myself, but this one I actually bought this chain. I cheated a little, okay? I'm trying to make a movie or a show or a video or how to. Anyway, I can show you how to make chains too. Like I said, if I get a good enough response out of this show, enough thumbs up, and people asking to make more of them, I'll make more. I'll make as many as y'all want. Because like I said, I know a lot of things about a lot of different stuff like this, and I don't want to take it to my grave with me. I'd love to teach people how to do this stuff. I love to share my knowledge and receive knowledge. Push that back together, and there you go. Because as well as writing about what you want me to teach you, I also like people to send me things where I can learn things too. Because you can't know everything. The day you think you know everything is the day that you gotten stupid. Let's see, and there it is. Let's see if I can lay it down here and show you how it hangs. And that's how it will hang on somebody's neck. Just like that. There. And I hope you enjoyed this show. I'll try to put on my daughter's address and all here in just a little bit at the very end of this. Have a good day. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you like it, mark thumbs up down there or subscribe. I'll be making more of these shows. The more I get out of these shows, people sending me stuff, and all the more shows I'll make. But I'll be showing you how to make all kinds of different jewelry, how to round pieces out like this. So you actually take them and make them rounded. It's kind of interesting. But I'll show you how to do all different kind of things on future shows. You have a good time, and I hope you watch the whole show through, and I hope I stayed it entertaining. But give me feedback on it. If you like it or don't like it, either way, give me feedback, because I need to know things. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing. If I'm making mistakes, I'll keep making them if people don't correct me on them. So you have a good day.